Solve the following inequality. Write your solution in interval notation. So we have a quadratic, and we want to know where that quadratic is greater than 0. If we used a graph, we could probably determine it there, but there's a simpler method of doing this a little bit more accurately than using the graph. And that's basically to solve it as if it's an equation to start with. So we would factor this quadratic, and it would factor into x, that's 3 and 2 would give me 6, and if it's a minus 3 and a plus 2, that would be great. Now, it would be really nice if we could just take each of these factors and set them greater than 0 and solve. But the problem with doing that is that the value of this product being positive or negative depends more on if the individual numbers are positive or negative, not the factors within. So what we need to do is come up with a number line. This is a pretty simple way of doing it. And we take the zeros and put those in order, so -2 and +3. And then we just choose test values. So along in this interval from -infinity to -2, I'll choose -3. I'll pick 0 here and 4 there. Just something within this range of values. So what happens is if I take -3 and plug that into my function here, it would be -3 minus 3, which is -6, and then -3 plus 2, which is -1. So this is a negative times a negative, so that result's going to be positive. And it doesn't really matter that it's +6, it's just that it's positive. And everything on that interval will be positive. If I do the same thing with 0, I would have -3 times 2, and that's a negative value. If I do it with 4, that's 1 times 6, and that's going to be positives. So if I want to know where this function is greater than or equal to 0, I want to know where it is positive. So that's on this interval from here, and then up to this point. But since it's just greater than 0, we're not actually going to include that point. All right, and then again, starting from 3, but not including it, and then going off to positive infinity. So our final answer in interval notation will look like -infinity to -2, inclusive, or sorry, exclusive, and then union, which joins two sets together, 3 to positive infinity.